fundamental principles of thinking.
Before we begin to think properly, the first principle is this.
Think based on data, not stories.
We should start thinking with a small amount of high-quality, filtered, and cross-checked data.
The brain runs on data.
Just like the body depends on food, the brain depends on information.
And the quality of that information directly affects how well it works.
The principle of starting to think. When beginning any thinking process,
Several steps are essential.
Define the goal clearly.
Set priorities.
Break the problem into smaller parts.
Move step by step.
reduce the issue to its simplest core.
Use reverse engineering.
One of the most important thinking principles is inversion, thinking reversal.
Instead of asking, how can this project succeed? How can this project fail?
Then avoid the answers you find.
Pre-mortem analysis follows the same logic.
Imagine that the project has already failed.
Then ask,
What caused the failure?
by identifying possible reasons in advance, you reduce the risk of real failure.
Constant skepticism is necessary. Opposing views must always be considered.
The classic questions, who, what, when, where, why, and how, should always be asked.
The 5 whys method is especially powerful.
Why did this happen?
What caused that?
And what caused that cause?
This chain of questioning should continue until you reach the root.
Ideas must be constantly tested by trying to reduce them to contradiction or impossibility.
Assumption hunting is also critical. All assumptions should be temporarily suspended.
You should repeatedly ask yourself,
What is pushing me to think this way?
to think clearly, you must isolate yourself from bias and prior conditioning.
Multi-perspective analysis.
Looking at a situation from only one perspective makes it almost impossible to see reality clearly.
Events must be analyzed.
From top to bottom,
From inside to outside.
from the perspective of all stakeholders.
When analyzing an economic decision in a country,
You must consider the perspective of the richest, the poorest, local citizens, and even foreigners.
at the same time, never forget it. You cannot fully understand a system unless you are also able to look at it from outside.
Second order and third order thinking.
Layered thinking is extremely important.
When you make a decision, ask, what will this trigger? What will those consequences lead to?
And what will those results create next?
Decisions create chains of effects.
Second order and third order consequences must always be considered.
Every decision has an interactive nature.
Each choice affects other choices.
This is where game theory becomes relevant.
Based on your decision, how will other players respond from their own perspective?
How will their responses affect you?
These questions should be explored through mental simulations and thought experiments.
The model of creating connections.
Another important approach is building connections between different concepts. When unrelated ideas are connected, new insights are born. By connecting different concepts across disciplines, we move closer to understanding reality.
This is how disciplined thinking begins.